Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I may have to stop at some point and take my coat off because my car is now warm and I have a short sleeve shirt on, so I didn't want to drive in the cold in a short sleeve shirt, but now it's getting kind of warm in here. Anyway, it is 1:30 exactly on the dot a.m. I don't know how long I'm going to vlog tonight. I have no idea right now, but I need to be in bed no later than 3 because I have to be up at 9 o'clock in the morning to take the dogs to the vet. Let me just tell you about today, okay? Today, do you ever have those days where they just kind of catch you completely by surprise? I had like not a whole lot going on today, and then it was like one thing after another, after another, after another. And before I knew it, it was like already early evening, and just my day completely got away from me. And I spent like the majority of my day on the phone talking to sober people on the phone, and which was good, but this was like a lot. And then tonight, Alex got off work, and so he met up with his friend Sarah and their other friend from high school, because I was like at home and I was like still finishing. He got off at like 6 and I was still like finishing up uploading my videos. And so he texted me, and okay, so we were supposed to do our taxes the week that we got back from vacation. Well, somehow we miscommunicated with the accountant because he's going to be gone that week. So Alex texted me tonight, and he was like, okay, so he's going to be gone the week that we get back, and he can't do this week, the days that we're going to be here this week. He was like, so the only thing he can do is tomorrow afternoon at 1. I'm like, okay, we haven't done anything in putting our taxes together whatsoever, right? And I was like, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. Like, I mean, we have like, you know, the forms and the mortgage and all that kind of stuff, but like, you know, like putting it all together and receipts and all that, you know, all that stuff you have to do to get your taxes together. So, I said, okay, well, I'm going to start working on it now. But he didn't text me this until like later. They were like done, like, they were like finishing up dinner, and he was trying to like get a hold of him, and he couldn't get our accountant texted him, and then he was like, they were texting back and forth, and Alex was asking me like, if you can't do it then, do you want to use this other person that like another accountant? And I was like, no, like, I mean, he knows all of our stuff, like, you know. And so we were trying to like figure it out when we were going to do it, but we were taking the dogs tomorrow, and we're like, okay, so we're literally going to have to like take the dogs to the vet, come home and leave and go right to the accountant to get this done, which means that the better part of tomorrow will be spent doing taxes, because that'll take all afternoon. And but I was like, we got to get this done. I mean, you know, honestly, I'll feel better that like we go on vacation having it done than having to come back and do it, so I'll be happy about that. So anyway, that was that. But it's just all the stuff we have to do tomorrow. So I sat there and I watched, while I was putting all my tax stuff together, Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy. I love her, but I would say it wasn't one of her best movies. I didn't love that movie. But it was cute. It was fun. I teared up at the end. And then I was like going through all the free movies, and there was like nothing that I was like, do you ever just like go through all the movies? You're like, okay, I just want to watch something, you know, even on like Netflix or something. And I was like, God, there's nothing that I want to watch. And I wasn't really in the mood. Like, I wanted to like pay attention to that Madeleine McCann documentary. And so I didn't want to watch something that I had to like pay attention to. I just wanted something kind of in the background. And so I put on The Client, the John Grisham book. I don't know if you guys ever read it or saw the movie. The movie's fantastic, though, with Susan Sarandon. But anyway, I watched about half of that. Alex came home, like, as I was finishing up the Life of the Party movie, and he started working on his taxes. He's still working on his part right now to get them done. So, yeah. We filed together as a married couple, so that makes it a little bit easier with most of this stuff. But I was like, how much longer do you have? Because he's been working on it well, now, like, he got home a little bit before midnight, so he's been working on it for like an hour and a half. I said, how much longer do you have to do? And he was like, I've got a little bit more to do. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm going to go vlog. And he goes, well, when I get done, I'm going to go to bed. And I said, okay, then we'll get up tomorrow morning at 9 and we'll make a day of it. A day of couples' responsibilities. So yeah. I was actually reading the comments on the vlog before I left. It's so funny to me, like, what some of you guys, like, catch on to in the vlog. Or, like, what you guys comment about, things that I say. Karen said she lives somewhere up here. I won't point it out exactly, but she told me where she lives. I think I know where she lives. And I'm going to look for the street name when I pass it tonight. You guys will probably notice and you'll be like... She's like, you drive by where I live all the time. I always think that... Oh my God, do you know what I think? Oh, this is so weird. If you live on the street that I think you do, if it's something lane... You live on the same street as one of my mom's really, really good friends. She's lived there for like 20 years. Oh my God, that is so crazy if you live there. I actually went down that street on a vlog one night and showed it because I was trying to find my mom's house because my mom's house is, my mom's friend's house is purple. Oh my God, that is so crazy. Anyway. Because that would make sense, because that's right there. Oh, I didn't even put that together. Anyway, talked to my sponsor for a long time today. Talked to Tanya. Oh, I stopped by the kennel for a little bit today. Talked to Tanya. I have like an hour and a half left. Somewhere between like an hour and a half and 2 hours left of this audiobook, which is another reason why I shouldn't vlog for a long time tonight. I should actually try to listen to like a half an hour of that before I go to bed, because I have to have it done by Sunday. I wanted to have it done like 2 days in advance, but I really have a hard time listening to it during the day, like when I'm driving around and doing errands and stuff. I don't know why. I just like, it's, I have to say this, it's more interesting to me now as I'm getting to like the end of the book. I just can't tell yet because I don't know how the book is going to end. If she's like really in like kind of denial about the situation. I mean, it's been since 2005, so it's been 14 years. Or if her, like, I don't know, like, I'm getting like close to the end and I'm just not seeing a whole lot of that. But I will say, like, as far as like the book goes, and you want to talk about like, I mean, the parts that are interesting to me are probably not parts that are interesting to other people. Like, her marriage is very interesting to me. Her husband's like a really neat guy. He's very nice. And it makes a lot of sense why she picked him as a, like, she kind of like didn't want to be with him, and then they ended up falling in love. It's kind of a cute love story. And, I don't know. It's endearing to listen to. It's not horrible. It's just, it's written really cheesy. That's the only thing. There's the Burger King where I did my review of I did a review today of some milkshake from McDonald's. It was really good. It was really, really good. I need to stay away from there and not be getting any more milkshakes from not McDonald's, Burger King. I actually compared it to the McFlurry, except for that I didn't get a McFlurry because I don't really like McFlurries. The only thing I really like about McFlurries are those little spoons that come with them. I think those are kind of cool. I'm so ready to go on vacation. I wish I was about 50 pounds thinner, but I'm not, and I'm not going to stress out over it. I used to get down to like, you know, the week of vacation, and I'd be like, oh my God, and if if I had stuck to my diet and whatever, I just don't do that anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go. I'm just going to enjoy my vacation. I'm not going to stress out about it. I'm not going to beat myself up. It is what it is. You didn't do the work. You know, it's like, you're not going to, like, this is this one time that you're going on this vacation. So, like, if you don't enjoy it and, you know, take it for what it is, it's not like you're gonna, I mean, yes, I'll probably go on other vacations to Florida and possibly Mexico, but it's like, this trip is an isolated event, and I don't want to, like, you know, not enjoy it because I'm stressing out over my weight when really nobody else cares but me anyway, you know what I mean? Whatever song I listen to right before I start vlogging is what song is stuck in my head while I'm vlogging, and that's why I like often like listen just I like just don't listen to anything and I have silence, or I listen to classical music because it kind of like calms my mind a little bit before I like just start talking for an hour straight, which is hard. I know it doesn't seem that way. I mean, I could probably do, you know, 3 hours, as people are joking now about. I really could, like, once I get going, or once I start telling a story, like, I could really get going, but at first it's kind of hard for me. And so I was listening to some different songs, and I was listening to like this real, like, kind of like folksy music. Was like, so I just put my iPod on shuffle, and it was kind of like this folksy music, and like the Cave Singers, I think, was one of the songs. And but then Bad Romance by Lady Gaga came on, and now that's stuck in my head. Which is like the second time I've heard that song today, because I sang it in my Peter Monn video today too. Oh. Do you ever just like feel kind of wiped out? Like, I feel a little wiped out right now. I did not win at the casino, by the way, last night, but my friend Valerie did very well last night at the casino. She did extremely well. I'm very happy for her. And it's so funny because I was telling her, I said, I get so sick of people's stories. Like, people, like, never can be, like, happy, right, for you. Like, so, I mean, I wasn't hitting, so it wasn't about me, but, like, so Valerie, like, when I got there, she had hit the major. And she had texted me that, because she got there, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours before I did. So I texted her and I was like, are you winning? And she's like, yeah, I hit the major, which was like $850. Well, by the time I got there, was up to like $1,500. Then she went and she hit this machine for $2,000 on a hand payout. So she was up to almost like $4,000, right? So we're sitting at these big machines. These are like coin machines. I don't know what they're called. But anyway, people call them the Buddha machines, but I don't know what you call them. So anyway, by the way, I saw in the comment sections that two of my very good friends that are a married couple that have a slot channel. I will shout them out specifically in a video, but they started a slot channel, so I need to talk about it. But they commented on a video, so hey, how are you doing? So I don't know if they watch all of my vlogs, but they had commented on that vlog. I think it was a couple days ago, I think. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Okay, so we're sitting there, and I was sitting on the end, the left end. Valerie was sitting on the right end, and then there was like a machine in the middle. They're these huge machines, right? Like, if you've been to, they're like as big as like the Willy Wonka machines if you've been to the casino. So we're sitting there playing, and this woman in between us, and I have to say, I wouldn't say she wasn't nice. I would say she was a little irritated that she wasn't hitting. I have never seen anybody, she was literally betting like $10 a spin, if not more at times, $15, $20 a spin, and she was going through money like this. And Valerie just kept on hitting. Well, Valerie goes up and down. So Valerie will play $5 a spin, $1 a spin, 50 cents a spin, $1.50 a spin. She goes up and down, right? And this woman, you can tell, because like Valerie kept on getting bonuses, and I was like, girl, go Valerie. And you could tell this woman was getting kind of irritated that not at Valerie, but at the fact that like she wasn't hitting any bonuses, and I was hitting some bonuses too, but I wasn't playing the amount of money that Valerie was. So, but I was doing okay, and I was holding between like $150 and $200. So I was kind of going down a little bit, up a little bit, whatever. And that's what I like. I just like to be able to play, you know? So anyway, they came over to pay, like, because Valerie had moved machines. She had been in these machines behind, and that's where she got the hand payout. So they brought it over to her, because, like, they have to take your card and stuff like that. Which tonight, in going through my taxes, I had totally forgotten that I had won a Progressive last year, and most people don't have federal taxes taken out when you win, because then you get more cash. I didn't have federal taxes taken out at the time, so guess what? I get to pay the federal taxes now. And since we have to do it tomorrow, I can't go get my win-loss statement from the casino, so I'm just stuck paying that. Because if you have a win-loss statement from your casino, like if you play with your card, just so you know this, if anybody out there is a gambler or you won the lottery or anything like that, if you go to a casino and you play with that card, or if you turn in, like, you can add up your lottery tickets too, you can get your win-loss statement. And so what that shows is it shows how much you've won and lost over the last year, and you're able to, like, put your losses towards whatever you won. So if you won a Progressive and you owe taxes on it, like, that can all add into that. So anyway, that's what a lot of people do, but I only won one Progressive, thank God, last year. And I think it was for like $1,700. I don't remember when it was, but I was with Valerie when it happened, because I remember what machine it was on. It was like this red habanero machine or something like that. But anyway, so they come to pay out Valerie, and they're like giving her, they're like counting out her cash, and they're giving like her ticket thing to her. And she goes away, and I was like, girl, I'm so happy for you, congratulations. And this woman, like, out of nowhere goes, I hit $44,000 in the last 2 months. And I go, excuse me? And she goes, yeah, I won $44,000. I'm not doing any good tonight. She goes, but I won $44,000 in the last 2 months. And Valerie doesn't say anything, right? And I'm like, oh, I go, that's cool. And I go, congratulations, Valerie, on that. I'm real happy for you. I said it again. Because what pisses me off is, like, if, like, Valerie wins and I'm congratulating her, somebody's always going to come up and go, oh, I hit the major on that. It's stories, always stories. They just want to ruin your good moment. They always want to be telling you about, like, oh, you hit 850, I hit 1100. You know, it's always that. It's just like, let somebody have their moment. You know what I mean? Like, this is not your moment to talk about your $44,000, right? And then she goes, and I put every bit of that $44,000 back into these machines. And then Valerie and I about stopped in our tracks, and I looked at her and I said, you spent $44,000 in the last 2 months at the casino? And she goes, oh, we go to Vegas, we go everywhere. She goes, so in Indiana, there's, people always ask me this. Actually, somebody asked me this on my vlog last night, if I go to Indiana Live. So Indiana Live is Shelbyville. I go to Anderson, typically. I go to Shelbyville sometimes, but I don't love it. So I typically go to Hoosier Park, which is a Harris casino. And they're about an hour from each other. And she goes, yeah, she goes, my husband and I, she goes, we went to Indiana Live earlier today, and we lost, and so we came home and we changed clothes, and then we came up here. She goes, my husband said to me, do you think we have a problem? And I said, no, we just like to have fun. I was like, you've lost $44,000 in the last 2 months, you might have a problem. You've won it and lost it in 2 months, $44,000, okay? Whoo! I mean, that's a great chunk of a lot of people's houses, you know what I mean? So anyway, she keeps on going on, and all these stories about how she's going to the Bahamas, and she loves the Bahamas, and she wins so much money in the Bahamas. And the thing that was hard was, she was so negative because she wasn't winning anything, right? I was sitting there, and I swear to God, in my head, I was like, please just let this woman win. Please just let her win. I just want this woman. Like, this is not fun. She's not in a good mood. Just let her win. I didn't even care if I won at that point. So she's playing $2.50 a bet, $2.50 a bet, and she gets a bonus. And it's like these lightning strike bonuses, these coins that come up, and you get the amount that you get if you get more than 6. And I look over, and she's got like a $250 one. I mean, this is rare on this machine. She's got a $250 one, like 350s, a minor. She's got all this kind of stuff, right? And so she ends up clearing like $700 and some amount of dollars on this bonus. Then she's in a good mood. And I'm like, oh my God, thank Jesus. And then she was fun to play with, finally. But then she like was up, one of these Buddha machines, these other Buddha machines, she kept on running around the corner. So she finally went over to the Buddha machines. And I looked up, well, she was about the fourth person that night that just wanted to tell us all her stories about the world, you know, how much she had won. And Valerie was sitting down at this one machine, and this guy came up to her. I mean, we know him. He's real nice. I mean, we don't know him, but we know him from the casino. Valerie would be like, I don't know these people, Peter. I'm always like, you need to be nicer to people at the casino. They're lonely. I was playing next to this one woman at the end right before I left, and she was so sweet, and she was older. I've seen her there a lot. And she was playing 50 cents a bet, and she got this bonus, and she got $110. I was so excited for her. I said, oh my God, because I need to cash it out and go home. I said, sweetie, you keep on playing that money. If you're having fun, you keep on playing it. She goes, oh my God, because I've never gotten a bonus like this in my entire life. I was so happy for her. Oh, so anyway, Valerie was playing on this one machine, and this guy that we know, he comes up, he goes, yeah, I just hit $1,000 on that one. Valerie's like, really? She could care less. She's so funny. But we had a good time. I just wish I would have. The thing is, it wasn't even that I wasn't winning. It was like I wasn't even getting any bonuses. It was kind of just not even fun at some point, you know? Valerie was getting the bonuses, though. So anyway, and yeah. What else? That's about it. I listened to the audiobook on the way home. I got 2 Cadbury cream eggs today. One of which made an appearance in my review video from today, so you have to go check that out. But then I also bought, they didn't have them at that place, so I had to go to another place. I bought, I think 2 or 3 of those Reese's eggs. Whenever I say this to people, they think I'm talking about the old school Reese's eggs that are like flat and they're like big, like oval. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the ones that look like a Cadbury cream egg, like identical, except the wrapping is yellow, tinfoil, and it's Reese's. And on the outside is chocolate, on the middle is, the inside is all peanut butter, and they are fantastic. And if you like Reese's, but especially if you like peanut butter, you will love these. They are so good. But I had to have one tonight. I couldn't, excuse me, I was gonna review them tomorrow, but I just couldn't wait. I had to do a little personal review tonight, so I'm gonna compare the two tomorrow. But they were good. I used to love those Cadbury cream egg things back in the day when I was, God, I couldn't get enough of those. I thought they were so good. They kind of go really quick though, don't you think? I bought this pair of Puma boots and I bought them on sale. They were marked down like 3 times. And I got them for like really the fall, or if I go out. I think I talked about them on here. And they came in the mail today, and I kind of forgot that I had ordered them. And so anyway, they came in the mail today, and I like brought them in the kitchen, and I opened them, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, these are so cool. I'm so excited that I got these. So I'm gonna have to show them on a vlog. I need to show something. I have something over here that I specifically brought out to my car a couple days ago to read in a vlog, and a card somebody sent me, and I haven't done it, but it's a very cool card too. So I want to show it in the vlog. So when I get to a place where I can pull over into a gas station or something, I'll do that and I'll read it if I don't forget. Oh, I passed by Karen and I didn't even notice it. Hi, Karen! I am ready. I will tell you this. When I come back from vacation, one of the things I'm going to do is, because we're supposed to have a nice April, I am getting that back porch. It is going to be the porch this summer. and I said this last year, but like this year, I'm doing it. I am gonna have all kinds of plants out there. I am gonna have it be so nice. We have a big water fountain out there. I might get like 2 or 3 of them, like little or one, so I can turn them on and like just listen to the water while I'm out there. And then, so I can sit out there and read, and just, it's really nice out there. Our chair and couch are so comfortable. So I'm really excited about it this year. Sit out there and watch some movies this summer maybe, and yeah. Except for that, I get a little scared being out there because it's so pitch black out there in the back. I have to be really careful because there's like coyotes that come through there sometimes. And, I mean, with the dogs being so small, you have to be really, really careful of coyotes. We haven't had this problem. I haven't heard about this problem in Indianapolis for the last couple of years. But there was a period of time where we were having big problems with coyotes attacking people's pets and dogs, like, you know, cats and dogs. It's so sad, isn't it? Melissa and Jason wanted to go out to dinner again tonight. They texted us and they were like, do you guys want to go to Benihana? They said, we're going to sit in the bar. We're not going to do the whole, like, table thing. The last time that we went to Benihana, which was with Melissa and Jason, I got really, really, really sick. And, like, literally stomach cramping, guttural pain. And I think I talked about it on here because I think I figured it out from somebody that you know, often if I talk about something and then you guys comment on it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that must be what it is. Like, I don't think you guys have any idea that you help me as much as you do, really, to figure out things in my own life. But we were there, and so we each got like fried rice. And then they got like meat and whatever, but like I got like a big portion of fried rice because I got veggie fried rice. And they got like Alex and Melissa, and I can't remember what they got. Like, I think Melissa and Jason got some shrimp thing, and Alex got some like beef teriyaki thing or whatever. Then we each got fried rice, but then I got like a big side of fried rice, and that was my dinner, veggie fried rice. This was like, God, probably, I don't know, 6 months to a year ago sometime. No, I had to have been a vegetarian for longer than that. Well, anyway, I could not figure out why I hurt so bad. Like, my stomach, I mean, it was bad, you guys. Painful, and then it was like, I think I was like vomiting and stuff. I don't know, but it was like painful. I do remember it like just being like, oh my God, it hurt so bad. And I couldn't figure out what it was. Somebody commented, was it somebody on my vlog or was it my friend? I have a really good friend of mine that's a vegetarian. And she talked to me about cross pollution when cooking in restaurants, which I had never heard of as a vegetarian, right? These are the things that, like, so you become a vegetarian and you think, okay, well, I'm going to be plant-based, or I'm going to eat more fruits and vegetables, or I'm, you know, like, and I'm not a super healthy vegetarian, so, but I do my best. And, you know, like, or I'll eat hummus, or I'll eat this, or I'll eat veggie burgers, right? And so you don't think about things like gelatin and candy, or, what else? There's just a lot of things that have meat byproducts in it that you would never in a million years think of, right? So she was telling me about, I think it was her, because she was telling me about, oh, I think I talked about it on here, and I said, my friend, yeah, because she went to this party. Okay, so anyway, that's how she found out about it. So it's like cross-polluting with restaurants is when, like, you cook on the same grill and you don't clean the grill. So, for example, if they cooked Alex and Melissa and Jason's fried rice, shrimp, and whatever on the same grill, and they didn't clean it off, like, well enough, then the meat byproducts would still be on there. And if I hadn't been used to eating meat, that would have been in my fried rice, and that could have made me sick. I never thought of that before. And she said to me, she's like, yeah, she's like, you do your best to be a vegetarian, but if you're going to ever eat out in a restaurant, she's like, this is one thing that she's been a vegetarian since she was like a kid, because her parents are vegetarians too. And she said one of the things that you learn over time is that you do your best. She's like, but mistakes are going to happen. She's like, and every vegetarian knows there's really very little way, unless you just eat salad, that you can go out to a restaurant and not at some point you're going to get cross-polluted food. And I think it's cross-polluted is what she said, the word she used. So I thought that was interesting though, like I had never thought of that before. But yeah, I do my best. I tried my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Our house was kind of cozy tonight. Pee-Pee was sitting right next to me in the chair, and I was watching the movie, and Alex was at the desk, and he had his headphones on because the movie was driving him crazy, he said. And Boo and Tucker were kind of like wrestling on the floor, and I took them out about once every half an hour, and it was kind of fun just sitting around there working on stuff together tonight. If I could walk 500 miles and I could... Do you guys remember that movie, Benny and June? I haven't seen that movie. I don't know how many times I've seen that movie, but I haven't seen that movie in forever. It was a good movie. Oh, man. I always get so excited right before vacation. But I literally have a list of like 25 things that I have to do. And if you looked at the list, I mean, it's not stupid stuff. It's like, oh, I just thought of another one that I have to do. But you would be like, how are you going to really, like, and Peter, in all honesty, how are you going to get all that stuff done in time? I'm like, God, I don't know. Try my best. Some of it's things like, oh, just thought of another one I hadn't put on there. I need to get contact solution. So, like, contact solution, or like get cash from the bank, or, it's like these things. And so I can do like 6 in a row and get like, I know you guys are like, this is so boring, who cares? But it's like you can get 6 in a row of them done, right? But I don't want to do them and save them all till the last day, because I want to kind of enjoy my last day a little bit and relax and all that kind of stuff. I might make Tanya Jean go to Meijer with me tomorrow night or Monday night, because if she does, then I can get the dog food and stuff and their treats, and then I can just take it over to the kennel with her that same night. Then I don't have to take all that stuff over there when we take the dogs to the hotel. Well, the kennel, we call it the hotel. You guys want to go to the hotel? Jason was like looking at the weather, and he's like, it's supposed to be between 70 and 75 in Miami. I was like, it's not going to be between 70 and 75. He was like, why? And why do you think that? And I go, it's always warmer in South Beach, first of all. I said, but it'll say that. I said, but it'll be warmer than that, trust me. He's like, you think so? I said, yes, I think so. I hope so. But 70 to 75 is better than 28. We just talked about, 78 that'd be 50 degrees warmer than what this is right now. Because this is crap that I'm dealing with right now. My God, it was like 41 or something last night when I was vlogging. And now it's 28 degrees. The very first trip that Alex and I ever took to Florida, we went with our friend, and so it's like the three of us that went down there, because they were like in college together. It was like Alex's, like, one of his best friends before we met, and they had kind of planned the trip together, and then the other friend couldn't go, And so it was supposed to be like the 4 of us, and then our other friend couldn't go, and then anyway. So, it was supposed to be very spring breaky. But what was so funny is I remember that when we drove down there, it was like really cold in Indianapolis. And then like, you know, you get like halfway down, you've got on like, you know, your winter clothes, and then you like get halfway to where you're going, and it's like all of a sudden it's warm. And it seemed like, so Alex and I used to drive to Florida every year for Ultra, and it was like 2 years ago. Oh, I don't know if it was 2 years ago. This is I think our 6th Ultra. But he said, I'm never doing it again. And I said, what do you mean you're never doing it? He goes, I'm never doing it again. He goes, I'm not driving the drive. It's 21 hours. And I love the road trip. Obviously, you guys know that. I love to drive at night. I love to listen to audiobooks. I love to listen to Coast to Coast AM. Do you know what? You guys want to hear what Coast to Coast AM is? All right, I was trying to find the radio station. I went up over a hump, and the camera fell. So anyway, right now they're playing a song, so I don't know if that means that they're on a commercial break or they're going to come back. They may not do Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast AM may be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It may not be Friday and Saturday. I don't know. I'll check it here in just a second. But for Indianapolis, it's 93.1, and it's from like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., I think. That's where they do like conspiracy theories and psychics and all kinds of stuff. Still playing the song. But anyway, so Alex said no more. We're not doing that anymore. He goes, Peter, he goes, it's about the same price, honestly, with gas and everything like that. Plus, you're putting mileage on the car. He goes, by the time we get down there, he goes, okay, because we leave here at like 6 something in the morning, and we're in Miami by 9 a.m. Like, and it's a direct flight. So it's a really short flight. I think we leave at like 6:45, and we get there at like 8:30 or something. So we're off the plane, have our bags and everything by like 9 o'clock, and coffee from Starbucks in our hands. Okay, so the battery is about to die. Thank God I brought another battery with me, but I'm going to pull up here when I can stop, because I can't stop right now to do it. So anyway, and I was kind of like, God, I can't believe that we're not going to do the road trip. I love the road trip and blah, blah, blah. But after that first year that we flew, I was like, oh yeah, this is 10 times better. Because it was nice to have a car down there, because you could drive your car straight into Ultra. You know, you could park it on a lot like around Ultra, which this year it wouldn't matter anyway, because Ultra's on a private island this year. They lost the bid for where it was on the bayfront, so they had to move it to a new location. And now it's not a private island, but it's on this island, and you can only get there by one road or ferries. And we got VIP tickets, so we get this specific kind of ferry, which is very nice, because otherwise I think it might take forever to get there. So anyway, but we're kind of a little nervous to see how all that works out. But when we used to take the road trips to Florida, I used to love that. And I remember there was like one year that Alex and I left. Just that first year was when our friend went with us. He lives in Dallas now. He knows who he is. He doesn't watch my vlogs, so, but anyway, hey. But one year we left, and it was like snowing, and it was snowing really, really hard. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so bad. And I remember like, we like got to like Nashville, and it snowed like pretty much here all the way to Nashville, and it never really snows that far south, which was interesting. So, because we take like 65 south into Louisville, and then we go over to Nashville is how we go down to Florida. I'm going to take my coat off, and I'm going to stop this. I'm going to put my battery in. I'll be right back. Okay, so, hold on just a second. Change the battery. Put my chapstick on. I was listening to, it actually is on right now. It's kind of an interesting topic. They're talking about, here it is.
You brought that up because that is my new thing right now.
What do you mean?
I
love talk radio. I absolutely adore it. They're talking about memory. And they're talking about how memory is not just data facts. So you never tell the same story twice. Like, you would never tell the exact same story like any 2 times the same exact way, that it will constantly change because memory is perception. And then he was talking about how the way that people that have PTSD, this was interesting, the way that people have PTSD perceive memory is different than other people because of their perception with PTSD of looking at the memory is different. And I have a feeling they're going to get into some kind of other mental health issues in here, because he was like,
I'm running Ironmans and marathons. I mean, I push my brain to its limits. Like, and what I mean is to stimulate this neurogenesis and neuroplasticity, in my opinion, you have to learn.
So they're talking about like how to like reinforce your memories and things like that. And because he was talking about like, I mean, I only listened to like a minute of it, but he was talking about like that he didn't take as many pictures of his kids and stuff when he was younger, and so he's hoping that his memories, you know, as he gets older, you know, that he retains them. He was talking about like people that like, you know, like Alzheimer's and things like that. And then it went into this whole idea of our memories and when we report a memory back, which is interesting, you know, especially as much as I talk about memories on this. Memories like the... See, I never know the words to that song, even though it's like one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite movies, The Way We Were. Memories may be beautiful and yet... Anyway, it's interesting, isn't it? Do you find that you know some people that tell more like memories of their life than others? Like, I'm definitely somebody that tells a lot of memories. And my one friend that I go out to lunch with a lot, that I talk about on here, she and I, like, we are memory swappers. Like, especially, like, and not even just, like, memories of, like, things that have happened to us or people that we know or, like, our parents or things like that. But we get going about, like, oh my God, do you remember in 7th grade and they had, you know, this arcade at the mall? Oh my God, yes, it was right next to Farrell's. And we would talk about how we used to all go to Farrell's to have our birthday party there. And, or she and I would talk about how we would go to Farrell's and have our birthday party there and stuff. It's like our memories of those things are very specific, but I don't know. I think it's good to tell memories from your past, because I think the more you tell them, like, the more you remember certain things or certain people. My cousin Caroline has absolutely, like, she'll say to me, she'll be like, okay, like, when I wrote my book, there's a part in there when Danny's talking about going to his grandma's house. I've talked about this on here before. He's talking about going to his grandma's house and how he and Sam would play with these snow globes that his grandma collected. And she would collect them from, like, everywhere that she went in the world. So each one was, like, a different place that she had gone. And then something happens to one of the snow globes. So Caroline reads the book, and she said, I don't remember Grandma having those snow globes that you talked about. Like, because they had, like, this big, like, you know, curio, what do you call those? Curio cabinets or whatever, with all of her snow globes in it. And Caroline's like, I don't remember Grandma having that snow globe, like, collecting snow globes. And I was like, she didn't collect snow globes. Which is funny, because actually it was Caroline's mom that gave me several snow globes over the year because I really like them. And Caroline goes, so Grandma didn't have those? And I go, no. And I said, but I do remember her apartment, like, exactly. Well, she lived in a house when we were really young, and then she lived in an apartment later. And I said, but I do remember, and then she lived in, like, another apartment, like, before she died. But the majority of her life that I remember, she was in this apartment. And I said, but I do remember Grandma's apartment, like, exactly how it was. And I explained it. And she's like, how do you remember that? And I'm like, how do you not remember it, Caroline? Like, we would go, like, Caroline and I would spend, like, weekends over there, you know, when our parents were, like, out of town or something. And this was when, like, we were real little. I don't honestly know how old we would have been. But my grandma had, and I still have one of the pillowcases at home because I can't throw it out. And it's Wonder Kale, and I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but, like, so percale is a kind of sheet that you have, like a kind of linen, and it's real cheap. I thought it was like really expensive because it's very silky and smooth, and like the more you wash, the nicer it gets. When I was a kid, I always thought it was real expensive. My mom, like one day when I was older, she's like, you know, it's like Wonder Kale is like super cheap, right? And I was like, no. And she was like, I mean, that sheet's gonna fall apart at some point, Peter, so don't be like thinking it's gonna last forever. It's just, it's not a well-made sheet. And I've held this one pillowcase forever because my grandma had twin beds in her bedroom, and she had these Wonder Kale sheets on them that were like little pink flowers, and they were so small, and I can remember, like, you know, scissoring my legs on them. And Caroline and I would sleep side by side in a twin bed, and my grandma would sleep in the other one. And because my grandma was such a heavy smoker, she snored like a freight train, and Caroline and I couldn't sleep. But I remember like laying in that bed, and it was like pitch black, and then my grandma, her apartment window like looked out over this lawn, and then the lawn was like up against this road, like this, like, not like a major road, but like, you know, a road where, like, you know, it was somewhat traffic, but late at night there wasn't a lot of traffic there, so you would see a car go, you know, by, and then it'd be dark for a long time, and then another car would go by and stuff like that. And I just had the weirdest memory. I just like talking about memories. I just remembered swimming in that pool at my grandma's apartment complex like one time, and I didn't like it. I don't know why I didn't like it, but I didn't. I remember like my grandma or my mom or somebody was trying to get me to go play in the pool with these kids that I didn't know. I was like, no, I don't know them. I was always scared to talk to other kids. I wasn't like, this social anxiety that I've had like the majority of my life. Like, it's funny, in talking about the other day, that girl, like when we would go to Saugatuck that I was friends with, and like I literally can remember her like coming over to our boat like the first of every summer, you know, and she was just like Dill in To Kill a Mockingbird. She'd be like, hi, how are you? And I think that's like kind of, I have to ask my dad about that. I know he will remember her as like soon as I say something. He said something about her like every once, he'll say things about like, do you remember your girlfriend that you used to have? And I'm like, Dad, she wasn't my girlfriend. But it'll be like that girlfriend of yours that you had when we had the boat in Saugatuck. But yeah, Caroline's memories, she's like, I don't remember anything. Like, I'll ask her something about, like, high school. She'll be like, I don't even know who that person is. I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about. She always acts like she doesn't remember anything. She's like, Peter, I really don't remember a whole lot from my childhood at all. And Caroline didn't have a bad childhood, so, I mean, there's no reason why she wouldn't remember it. She just doesn't remember things. She just laughs about it. She thinks it's funny. I'm like, Caroline. She's like, I don't. She's like, I don't remember anything. But then what was really weird was that, like, we both knew the cemetery that my grandma was buried at, and Caroline was more affected by my grandma's passing than I was, because Caroline, like, went to her apartment and cleaned her apartment for her every week, and she was, like, spent a lot of time with her. Plus, I think, like, that was Caroline's very first, like, big, well, she had an uncle that passed away, too, but that was, like, her very first big death that she dealt with, like, and she was a teenager. She was, like, 16, I think, at the time, 15 or 16, and, so she's kind of, like, always, like, the only time I ever remember going out to my grandma's cemetery would be with my mom randomly every once in a blue moon. But my mom hated the cemetery that she was buried at, and so she never really wanted to go out there. Well, Caroline and I talked about going out there and finding my grandma's grave, and so one day Caroline, like, sent me this thing, and she was like, here's the directions to Grandma's grave. I went out there today. It's like hell and gone from where either of us live. It's like on the other side of town. And she's like, I don't know why they picked that cemetery. And she was like, here, I just wanted you to know where it was in case you want to go out there and find it. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, how did you find it? She's like, you can just go up there and you can ask, like, that you're looking for so-and-so, and they'll print off these little directions for how to get right to that gravesite or whatever, the number. It has like it's like a map, and it has like the number. Each gravestone has like a number on it or something. I don't know. But anyway, she took a picture of it. She sent it to me. That's been a while since that happened. Memories. I'll tell Caroline stuff that happened when we were kids, like together, that we like, and she doesn't even remember it. I'm like, how do you not remember that? She's like, I just don't remember it. Like, I remember Caroline, like, her senior year in high school. Maybe like the summer after her senior year in high school. Like, I spent a lot of time with her, like, that year. And so, like, I have a lot of memories of that. And that was, like, my freshman year in high school. And I kind of really looked up to Caroline a lot. And I'll say, oh, this or that. And she'll say, like, I have no idea what what are you talking about? And I'm like, you don't remember when that? And she'll be like, no, I don't remember that at all. You don't remember the time that we went out to dinner here? Well, no, how do you remember that, Peter? My aunt was kind of the same way, though. She kind of, like, didn't remember anything. My mom always said she remembered things exactly as they were. I think it's so funny that somebody that watches my vlog lives right around here and said something about it. When I read that comment, I was kind of like, oh my God, that cracks me up. Because you would have to live in Indianapolis where I drive to know, but like, she knew exactly the route that I take too, because she's like, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. And there's 2 routes I go. So for Karen, the person that commented on it, I either come and I go like 82nd to Hague Road, through Fishers, through Noblesville or Westfield and around. Or the other way I go is to Zionsville. And then I go all the way down to Zionsville Road, into Zionsville, and then I come back around. Because each of those, oh no, that's not true. Sometimes the third way that I go, I've been doing this one sometimes, don't tip. I always forget that this road down here is like this really big, like deep dip. But sometimes I go out 116th Street and I take it out to like McCordsville or Oak Landing. But I don't do that a lot. And sometimes I just get on the interstate and I drive like down one way and come back the other. And I usually just go up north, like towards the casino. But sometimes I go past the casino and then I'll like come back and go the other way. Because it's like a half an hour up and a half an hour back. And that's usually like my whole vlog. So I'm like, there you go. Should we listen and see what they're talking about? Oh my God.
Fantastic. Like if you see me, my presentation of what I do, like I made these colored cards up and they got like literally thousands and thousands and thousands.
See, I can just sit there and listen to that all night long about the most random stuff. I've listened to them talk about shadow people. That really freaks me out. I don't like to listen about shadow people a whole lot. Every conspiracy theory ever, every political conspiracy theory, aliens, John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, missing flights. They seem to do that a lot on there. They do a lot of, they'll have psychics on there and like mediums. And they used to do a lot of like alien UFO stuff. They don't do that. But it's always like, it'll be like so they always have an expert on there that wrote a book, typically. And then what they'll do is, like, the expert's book will be about like what really happened at Roswell and like, you know, never before seen, you know, facts or something that were released by the FBI. And that'll be like the book, right? And then they'll like the first hour is them talking about the book, like, and all this kind of stuff. And then my favorite though is at the end. I wish they were doing it right now. Oh my God, it's so funny. And it's called the Wildcard Hotline. And people can call in and they can ask like the author a question, or they can just ask whatever, or they can just like comment about whatever. That's why I always do like that skit, like little thing that I do where I'm like, you know, Wildcard Hotline, Gene, you're on line 1. Oh, hi, this is Jean Louise. Jean Louise fans from Tacoma. Hi, this is Jean Louise from Boise, Idaho. I just got home from work. I work at the Speedway up the street. Oh, my Lord, I've worked there for 12 years. Let me tell you about a job. Anyway, I came home from work tonight, and my husband, Daryl, he had some friends over there watching the game in the other room, you know. There were beer and bologna sandwiches everywhere, and they even ordered them pizza. But anyway, I called my friend, I went back patio, I called my friend Darlene, and I said, hey, Darlene, I said, what are you doing? And we were sitting there, and we were talking about the kids, and all the going to school, and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Gene, on Wildcard Hotline, could we speed up your story a little bit, Gene, please? We'd like to get to the point. All right, like, well, what I was saying was I was sitting out there, and I was sitting on the back patio, I was drinking me a beer. You know, sometimes I like to have me a natural light when I come home from work. I mean, that Speedway, it'll just put you through it, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really want much of a bologna sandwich or a pizza, so I was just having a beer out there anyway, smoking me a cigarette, how it is. And so I was sitting back there, and I was looking out over the pasture. Now, we got some corn that we grow, not a whole lot. We don't got a maze. We don't have a field. We don't own any farms or anything like that. But we got some corn back there, and out of nowhere, this UFO landed, this saucer ship. Now, you know what I'm talking about, them on the saucer ships. I've seen pictures of them all my life. The saucer ship, it landed right behind there, and this 7'5" alien, he was green, he had the eyes, you know, he was one of them grays, you know, with the eyes and all that kind of stuff. He was more greenish looking. He stepped down, he had cowboy hat on, he looked at me, he said, now howdy, Jean Louise, how are you? And I about fainted, and I said, Darlene, you will never guess who just stepped out of the field as an alien straight from another universe. You guys, it is so hilarious when you listen to this stuff. I mean, it cracks me up. I just like howl listening to it. And like, they know some of the people too, because they'll be like truck drivers, and they'll be like, Ted from Irvine. Hey Ted, how are you doing? He'll be like, well, I'm good, how are you doing? Yeah, I've just been driving from the East Coast, and yeah, I just want to call in and say hi, how are you doing? I'm doing good, how are you doing, Ted? Well, I just want to tell you that the other night I was listening to you talking about gun control, and I got a little bit of a different opinion about that. They go into this whole thing, I mean, it's so hilarious. It's just so nice, you know, like, what the hell? It's just, there's just so much craziness in the world. We need more niceness, just more simplicity, you know? When I was younger, I wanted, I don't know, you know, like intrigue and all of this stuff that I want, you know what I mean? And like the older I get, just this complicated world and all this kind of stuff. And the older I get, I just want simplicity, you know? Like, that's why I love Melissa, because like, she gets me, you know, like with her big chapsticks. I mean, like at the end of the day, isn't life just about like a big chapstick? I mean, that is just, you know, if you watch my vlog from last night, you know what I'm talking about. I was telling Tanya about that today. We got laughing so hard. She was like, it does not take much to please Melissa. I said, it doesn't really. It's so funny. I did not go over there today to film the video because she really wants me to order these other two chapsticks. So I'm going to order the other two chapsticks and then we'll do the review. So anyway. I was going to do my favorites video on my review channel today, but I ordered another pair of shoes. I talked about that last night. And I really want them to come first before I do that because I want to show them in my video too that I'm like kind of obsessed with shoes right now. Because I am. I bought like 15 pairs of shoes. No, not 15. But I have bought quite a few pairs of shoes. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought 6 pairs of shoes, you guys, in like the last month and a half. 7. Those ASOS shoes. I need to stop. But I love shoes. I haven't worn any of them since they've came either. They've all just sat there in the boxes and the bags because I want to show them in this video. And then I want to take some of them on my trip. I got to start packing. I got to pack smart about this trip. And also, when I went to LA, I had bought these 2 polo shirts from Target. So if you're looking for a shirt for your man, let me just tell you, or if you're a man and you're looking for a shirt, the polo shirts, the Goodfellas polo shirts from Target that are like $9.99 are, let me just tell you, they're perfection, okay? And I wore them the whole time that I was out there. I had 2 of them. One's like a knit, and the other one's like tighter material. And I washed them, and they stay the same size. They don't tighten up and get really small. And I mean, I love them. I love, 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 love these shirts. And, like polo shirts, because I'm heavier right now, are not always really comfortable on me, but those are comfortable on me. So I want to go back and get a couple. I want to see what other colors they have. I'd like to get a black one. I don't love gray t-shirt. I don't love gray shirts. So I want to get a black one maybe. White washes me out. I don't want a white one. I never do like a bright color like red. I love green. So maybe if they have a green. But... Okay, I was singing and it went out of focus, and then I turned it off, and then I turned it back on, and it was out of focus. There, it's in focus now. But I was singing my song. I don't know where that song is from. And I was just about to end the vlog anyway, so we have to take the pups to the vet early in the morning for their shots, so I want to be rested somewhat for that. So I'm going to get off here and head on home and listen to my audiobook on my way home, and hopefully we get everything done tomorrow, and tomorrow goes easy breezy. And so yeah, easy breezy cover girl. And then I will be back tomorrow. It feels like tomorrow should be a Sunday, but tomorrow is Saturday. Maybe it's because, you know, like on Sundays all day long, like we go to brunch and we do a bunch of stuff, and I'm thinking about like getting up and doing all that stuff, but Sundays are brunch day. So anyway, I should vlog the whole day of the... I should do my whole vlog at the vet with the dogs getting their shots. Wouldn't that be so fun? Here's how it goes. PP is great getting his shots. Tucker's great getting his shots. Boo Radley is not great getting his shots. He does not like it. Boo Radley doesn't like going to the vet. He doesn't like going to the doctor, and he just went because... Oh, somebody asked me this in the vlog. They said, I wanted to show you this. I wanted to read the card. Well, I'll vlog a little bit further. I'll pull up in here when I get up to the grocery store up here, or whatever, the strip mall. Somebody asked me in my vlog what it was the vet said that Boo Radley had, and what she called it was reverse sneezing. I may have the paperwork in here still. I can tell you what it's, the specifics of what it's called. I don't think I do. I don't think this is it. No, that's not it. I must have taken it into the house, because she gave me like a diagram of like what happens when they do it, and it's just like, it has something to do with the back of his throat and how like dogs, like the way that, it's interesting because he sneezes too, so I don't know, but it's like he pulls it in instead or something. And she said that something to the effect that it happens a lot with like around allergy season and stuff like that too, so maybe that's what's going on with him. I don't know. His allergy season started. Alex was telling us at dinner last night that this is supposed to be one of the, like in Indiana, this is supposed to be one of the worst allergy seasons we've like had in forever. Which great, because I don't do well with that. Where I put that paperwork that she gave me. It was real interesting. It was like really easy to explain. But I wanted to read this card, so I'm gonna pull in here. I don't want to pull into a funeral home. No offense, funeral home, but that's not where I want to pull in. So I'm gonna pull in to, oh my god, McDonald's, which is closed. Thank God. I don't need any McDonald's right now. I was talking about how there's no Pizza Hut around here anymore. There's a Pizza Hut right there. I'll have to remember that in the future whenever I want Pizza Hut. Okay. So, oh, that's way too much. Okay. So I got this card in the mail. Isn't it so cute? And when you open it, look. It's a cup of coffee. How cute is that? Okay, I love. And then you open it, and it has like coffee beans and stuff in it. She said, this is from Randy H. She said, Peter, I wanted to send you one of my favorite wax melts. I love coffee, and I know you do too, so enjoy. I love you and all of your channels, but your vlog is my absolute fave. Thank you for sharing your daily life with us. Regards, Randy H. And then she put in parentheses, female, LOL. So, hey, female. But anyway, I just want to tell you, Randy, and to the rest of the world, and I'll show them on here too, because in case people want to buy them. So she sent me these wax melts, right? And I have to say, like, they've been sitting on the counter, and they weren't, like, warm or anything, and they actually kind of, like, melted in my hand a little bit when I took them out. But when you open them, like the little, it's like a 6-pack of them. When you open them, it actually has coffee beans like in the wax melts, right? Like into the wax melts. And you smell it and it's like, oh my God, it smells so good. So I put them in the wax, like I put one in each, like one in the kitchen and one in the living room in the wax melt thing. And when I took a shower the other day, when I came out of the shower, I was like, oh my God, it smells so good. I mean, it literally smells like you're standing in like a coffee shop. It's fantastic. So I will show those on there. Randy, thank you so much for that. That was really, really sweet. I really appreciate it. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here now. So let me just finish this up by saying I hope you're having an amazing day, unless you have other plans. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye.